human being, I spend quite a lot of time in real life, but as a professional Minecraft player, I also spend quite a lot of time playing Minecraft. So today we're going to be combining both of these things, and I'm going to be building things from real life in Minecraft. This is going to be interesting. First things first, I want to create a revolving door system. Now this is going to be a little bit tricky. I've got a rough idea of how I'm going to build it in my head, but I'm not 100% certain it's going to work. So the idea is simple. These sticky pistons that are going around like this will grab the slime blocks all at exactly the same time. So it should shift them across into the corners, and then these regular pistons will push those slime blocks across so that we get a rotation of this little cross pattern right here. Now the reason that we have these pistons that are stuck to the side of these sticky pistons is because when we push these pistons across, it will actually take the slime block and the sticky piston with it, which means that we will then need to retract that sticky piston back to its original position. I hope that made sense. And now it should be, in theory, potentially maybe working. If we hit this button here, I'm so surprised right now. That is ridiculous. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool. I mean, it's a bit of a strange type of revolving door, but if we put some glass down at the bottom here, we do kind of have a sort of door setup-ish. Okay, what I'm thinking is that, okay, so that's the top section done, but I want to make sure that we actually have like a full glass revolving door like that one, and then I guess we'll have blocks in the center. Yeah, that makes it a little bit more legitimate looking. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to build another one of these systems down at the bottom, and then we need to work out how we're going to do the floor. Cool, this is looking seriously cool. So once we hook this up to a redstone clock, that's what it's going to look like. But, as I mentioned earlier on, floor still needs some pretty serious work, considering, well, we have a massive hole through it. You can't actually go through the revolving door at this point in time, which isn't particularly very useful. But I think I might have worked out a way around it, using the old terracotta block. So for those of you who don't know, terracotta blocks, they don't actually stick to the edges of slime blocks, but they can be pushed by pistons, which makes them quite useful to use inside redstone circuits, because what we can do is we can push the terracotta block out across like this. So this sticky piston, what on earth? I've totally gone and broke something. As I was saying, this sticky piston right here will pull this block across like that. So it will be moved across like this terracotta block will be moved over to here, and then these pistons will push that slime block across, moving it out the way of the terracotta block. Then this piston can re-extend, pushing our terracotta block back next to those slime blocks. That was a tricky one to say. But tongue twisters aside, this thing is now all wired up, and it is probably one of the most satisfying things to watch in Minecraft. I mean, check this thing out. So there is our door. This is like the entrance area. Here are our walls. Obviously, the machine itself is quite big, so you'd have to be quite creative with your building design here. But doesn't that look great? So we've got the terracotta being moved out the way and being replaced as it goes round. And then we have the blocks rotating properly. I mean, those are rotating blocks. They are actually revolving around. This isn't an illusion of revolving. They are actually revolving around that central block. And, I mean, it's just, I could watch this all day. I could genuinely watch this all day. Anyway, I think it's about time that we move on to the next designer of today's video. This one was actually submitted via Twitter by Josh Crooks, who asked me to make one of those basketball hoop arcade machines. Alright, let's give this a go. So the basic idea that I've come up with is that we have a little slime block launcher underneath here, because obviously we need to make this tricky. We don't want to just be throwing items into a hopper. We need to actually give it a bit of a challenge. So I've placed down a little slime block launcher down here, and the idea is that you're going to have to launch yourself up to throw an item into the top hopper. So let's see how difficult this is. If I get this... Okay, it's still quite easy because we go so high with the hopper. You don't actually need to time it that well. Alright, let's move these hoppers up just a little bit and kind of make it more tricky, because I want to have to time things to perfection to score a point. Now that's a little bit more like it. Oh, that was so close. Alright, let's try again. Oh my god, it's so difficult. I did it the first time. There it is. Okay, so that's what we have to do. That's much better. And now that the core concept is done, the actual redstone behind this thing should be quite simple. So all I've done is I've created a score system which involves sending items up from a dropper into this chest right here using a redstone line which will detect when an item actually lands in the hopper. We then have a pulse extender circuit which sets the length of the game, so when you hit the button you'll get a certain amount of time to play, and then we just have a redstone clock running into this dropper right here. Here are our 3 basketballs, and if we hit this button that should kickstart everything. So here goes. Right, there we go, our basketballs have been shot out, and now all we have to do is try our best to get them through the hoop, and they should be dropped back out to us via that dropper. This is quite a lot of fun. Oh man, this is better than going to the arcade. The only issue that I've run into so far though is the fact that it doesn't look like our system is actually detecting when an item travels through. Let's take a look. So if I throw an item in there, yeah, that comparator doesn't seem to pick up on it. I think it just goes through a little bit too quickly. Okay, that's a little bit more like it. So this should now be fully functional and actually working. If we just hit the button, that will kickstart the game. And you know what? I think I've found what I'm going to be doing for the rest of today. I mean, this is just so ridiculously satisfying. You can hear me actually tensing up trying to get this thing to work, but there we go. You can see our scores are going in, so that should be a 4th point right there. I guess it takes a little while for the items to go through, but it does seem to be working. I'm actually too good at this. Look, I can score points pretty reliably here. There's another problem that has now been fixed, and I've also made the game a tiny bit harder by putting the hopper further away. And you know what? I think I might have made it impossible. Maybe if I stand right the way up to the edge there. Oh, that's just about doable. That's much more difficult, though. You really do have to time that perfectly. But anyway, moving on from that one, it is now time to take a look at the next redstone machine of today's video. This one is going to be the popcorn machine. I mean, I have no clue how to even start this one. Well, I would guess it goes without saying that this whole thing is going to be red and white, so I suppose I'll build the red and white section on the underside, down at the bottom here, and this is where all of the actual redstone mechanisms are going to be stored. And then I suppose I'll build a glass chamber on the top and try and work out how to actually make the look of a popcorn machine. I do have some ideas. Obviously, slime blocks are going to be involved. Now, I wonder what would happen if I just do something like this. Now, the idea is I don't want it to be synchronized or anything, but I'm hoping maybe if I put some items in here. Nah, none of those are getting launched. It's kind of like a weird wave machine. But no, definitely nothing happening there. Maybe a faster clock? Now, I'll be honest, I'm about 90% certain that this isn't going to work, but it's worth a try anyway. If we just flick the lever. No, it's not even that much faster. We need these things to be going up and down like crazy. Even then, still nothing. How do we launch these things? Yes, I managed to make it work, but it just broke into an entity. Alright, so now we're going to be fighting that problem, but we can make this work. We can make it work. I don't want to use any command blocks to spawn in sand entities, but we can do it. We just need to drop them onto those slime blocks. Okay, let's get smart about this. I've kind of come up with an idea, but I don't think it's gonna work. I thought of making like a waffle grid almost that's going to store all of the sand blocks, but obviously they're not connected up. No, that was so cool. I was gonna move the waffle grid and everything would drop through the middle. Okay, back to square one. I think I've come up with a new solution, and that is this sort of setup right here. So we've got this kind of crazy looking piston layout, and that is going to be catching our slime blocks, or catching our sand and concrete blocks as they fall down. So that can actually, so we need repeaters there, that will power all of these pistons, and that should do the trick. I think that's pretty much every single one of them powered. Then we'll power this one using this repeater here. So if we power this redstone in the center... Okay, all of those are powered. Now we just need to do the pistons in the center, which are going to be powered using a torch tower, which goes up through the center. So let's quickly relocate our redstone clock, and this should be that one done. So let's take a look. That running up there is actually the opposite way around to what we need. So we are going to need to, I guess, just quickly chuck in a redstone torch down at the bottom there. And now they are all extended, except this piston is facing the... I'm super lost. This piston needs to face across like this. This one needs to face across like this. And this one needs to face across like this. And that should do it. Wow, what a mess. I really hope this works. I sincerely hope that this works. That's not good. Why are they stuck? That's really frustrating. So they literally just got stuck to the blocks. If we fill up the entire thing, how many of them don't actually get launched upwards? Let's take a look. Oh, no, all of them have. And then some of them get stuck on round 2. I mean, it's not the best popcorn machine in the world. Oh, it could definitely do with some improvements. Oh, I think it's to do with this. I think maybe these pistons are slightly off. Whatever it is, I seem to have fixed it by stacking up the entities on top of one another. So now, if we flick this lever, there is our popping popcorn machine that has gradually lost almost 90% of his popcorn. Oh, for goodness sake. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think that just about rounds everything up for today's redstone video. I would say that kind of looks like a working popping popcorn machine. Let me know down in the comment section if that's a catastrophic failure or not. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.